Hello and welcome to my channel. Today is the day. Nicki, here we go. So this is Nicki Hoffman, born 1990. Story in the year of 1999, so 9 years old. When I went to the American Girl store, in which I'm, again, very fortunate to still have a store nearby. Oh, I didn't realize your box was like that. That's okay. Nicki was the one I had to get. Nicki was definitely coming home with me. Yeah, Nicki is definitely coming home with me. So let me get her out of the box and I'll say exactly why I needed Nicki in my life. Oh my goodness, she's so pretty. Okay, so I went to the American Girl store, I was able to pick my Nicki out in person, and it was really easy to find really good Nickies. There were, honestly, you just had to pick, there were slight variations in the Joss mold. Some of them looked angstier and some of them looked sweeter. And, I was able to go with some friends. And so, depending on, personal preferences, we got 3 Nickies and they look so close, but they're just slight differences. And I kind of wish I had a picture to show the slight differences, but I didn't think about that at the time. But I chose, I guess, what I'm going to call a more angstier face. She's still very sweet, but she's got that, I'm sweet, but I know how to, I know how to skateboard. I know how to rock out to alt rock music and things like that. And that was very much, Nicki is very much living the life I wish I had lived as a 9-year-old. Maybe not 9, but especially like preteen, that 11, 12, maybe even 13 range, which is kind of actually how I see most of my dolls. I don't see most of my dolls as like 8 or 9. They really are more 11, 12, 13. And so Nicki and Isabel, even though they're 9 in their stories, their accessories and their stuff that really just reminds me of a 13-year-old. So speaking of journal, if you haven't heard, it's a journal, not a book. Supposedly a book is coming out. I loved Kavika's journal, and I really like this. It reminds me a lot of the Amelia books, and I think this is a great way to get kids to read. They're quick, they're easy, but they still tell a story, and it's getting people to read, and that to me is very, very important. So I'm very excited to have the journal. So, getting her out of the box, her legs were strapped in, and she had a band around her waist instead of her arms, and then of course the attachment across the neck. She had, I was in the middle of taking these off when I realized, so they have the ones on the arms, and I guess that's to prevent shine marks, but what worries me is actually these. American Girl, do you think that purple is gonna dye their skin? Like, why else would you have, like, these I get, just to protect, from shine marks, but that, if there's any jostling inside the box, I get that. But why would you protect up here? And it ends right there is the transition. So my fear is that they're afraid this purple is going to do a dye transfer, which would be very unfortunate. And I will say that is one risk that I take buying a doll so close to release, is that, other people are the guinea pigs. Like, there's some of you who are going to watch this video in a couple months and be like, oh yeah, I'm ready to buy Nicki. Oh, I should be watching out for this. And you might, maybe we're going to find out that this does cause dye transfer. I really hope not. But, I'm going to be part of that guinea pig crowd that's going to find out. But yeah, oh my gosh, she's such a pretty doll. I wasn't quite sure which face mold they were going to use. I'm glad they went with the Joss mold. I think that was a good choice. This is our first historical with the Joss mold, correct? Yeah, it is. Fantastic. Okay. Sorry, I had to think about that for a moment. Okay, so Nicki the doll. has, people are talking about the platform shoes for Isabel, but these are technically like, these are not short shoes either. There is some height to them. They are like faux leather, and they look at the cute zigzag pattern. That was all the rage, making the zigzag patterns and like different ways to tie your shoes to make you unique. I love the socks have a purple detail to match with, the rest of the outfit. And then my guess is this is the same as Kira's outfit when I did the Adopt Don't Shop outfit review for Kira, that these sleeves, in order to be long enough to tie like that, you have to have them longer than the actual arms of the doll. And that just has to do with doll anatomy versus people anatomy. But this is just a basic collared shirt. It does have working buttons. Ooh, and they serge the buttonholes. That'll make them last longer. That's fantastic. Did they put a tag on it? I see the tag on the dress. Did they put a tag on? It doesn't look like it. I could be missing it, but I don't see a tag on it. So I think the tag is just on the dress. So if you take away the jacket, yeah, I wore this all the time. Maybe not these exact colors, but dress plus t-shirt, I wore this quite a bit. Quite a bit. Um, yeah, this was my style in late elementary, early middle school. And this was my style. If my parents had let me do my hair in any way, shape, or form, I definitely would have done that. I actually feel like I need to do that to my hair now, just because I never did that as a kid, and I kind of want to experience having slightly different hair color for a while. That's just never an experience I have. And here I am like, oh yeah, let me try this. But getting my hair, I do have brunette hair, and so getting it bleached, I know it's not, getting it bleached correctly by someone who knows what they're doing is not a cheap thing. And right now I still would rather spend my money on dolls. Okay, let's see if I can do this one-handed. So here is the also good. Oh my goodness, I'm really bad at doing this one-handed. Maybe I'll do this enough that one day I can do this. Oh, come on. There we go. Oops, I just ripped it. That's okay. I don't keep the hair nets. Oh, there we go. Oh, da da da. There we go. So her hair actually has some really red undertones, which is what my hair starts looking like in the summer. Yeah, it's actually honestly looking like a reddish hue. And I don't know if that's, I mean, it's not just the camera. There are some red undertones in her hair. Oh my gosh, that's so soft. So soft. And this is how length I currently keep my hair at. So this is just, this doll is me. That's why I had to get her. And then, yeah, just had to. Get her. Here we go. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love her. Okay. Yeah, so overall, if you're thinking Nicki or Isabel, I'm going to say I am Team Nicki all the way. I do have to say this is no longer Nicki. This is Jessica. This is going to be Jessica Hoffman, and she is essentially just Nicki, just with a different name. Like, I'm not changing her character, I'm just changing her name. She reminds me so much of a Jessica, and that's going to be her name. So this is going to be Jessica. I'm also going to rename Isabel, but maybe by the time I record that video, I'll have thought of a name for her. Maybe not, we'll see. But yeah, so this is Jessica Hoffman, rocking my style from the early aughts. So yeah, and she's, yeah, definitely their collection. I know it has been said in other review videos. It's definitely early 2000s, the early aughts over the late 90s, and I would definitely agree with that statement. Considering that's when I was in my preteen years. That just makes the most sense. Yeah, I am slightly younger than Jessica, and to be named Twin Hoffman, but I'm really close in age. Does that make me historical? So I work with young people, and yes, I am old. I am old. So yes, I know for some people it is kind of, thinking the late 90s is historical. Yes, that's historical. There is a whole different world now. And I think a lot of that has to do with the how technology has, especially social media, has drastically changed what it means to be a kid. And I think this was a great move on American Girl's part to help parents really illustrate to their children what their childhood looks like. People my age are having kids that are almost to the same point. They're the target age kids. Not all, but some. And I think it's just a great timing. And then I also think for that target age group, this is definitely ancient history, as much as that pains me to say. Um, but yeah, so sorry, that was a little aside. Didn't mean to go super social on that, but that's just sort of my thoughts. I love Nicki. I am so happy to have her in my collection. Um, let's see, I haven't actually reviewed the doll. I'm just here sitting here looking at her. I love her hair. I love her shoes. Do her shoes have treads? They better have treads. Oh, they're skateboard treads, but at least they're treads and not flat. Thank you, American Girl. We appreciate that. Um, okay, one last look at the back. The t-shirt and the dress are separated. The t-shirt, let's see, hold on. The t-shirt velcros all the way down. Sorry, I keep hitting her head. I don't mean to do that. The t-shirt goes all the way down and the dress goes most of the way down, but I think it'll be pretty straightforward to get on and off. I'm really glad they included socks with the shoes. That was, you always wore socks with shoes in that time period, at least like tennis shoe type things. The lack of shoes is more recent. So, oh my gosh, look how adorable she is. Ah, okay. I should probably just go because I just need to hold her and stare at her. In the next video, I think I'm going to do her accessories before I do Isabel, and then I'll do Isabel and her accessories. But for now, that is Jessica Hoffman. Thanks for watching and listening to me ramble about this. I am just so happy to have Nicki, now known as Jessica, in my collection. Ah, she's beautiful. Okay, I'm going to go and just hold her. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.